This week on Men Don't Talk.
Was more thinking about getting away and not even thinking about what I had on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting away, and I got away, you know. I got away, but I kept the drugs on me. Yeah. I got a sense of, you know, accumulating what you could accumulate. And to be fair, it stopped working, you know. The money stopped working, the Rolex watch stopped working, the jewelry stopped working, the cars stopped working. In this life and in this world, we all have insecurities, we all have fears, we all have worries, we all have pains. But for males, yeah, we tend to hide it in it. We tend to put on this front because, you know, it's not masculine, you know, it's not masculine to express it. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, when I went to the church, bro, I was actually going to the church, thinking like, yeah, let me see what girls I can see in there with it. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Men Don't Talk. We have got some special guests in the room. Righteous has returned. Welcome to the Lion. Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks, and thank you for that DJ NB-esque introduction. A special guest in the building.
So no Ben Shevlin tonight. Righteous is here with us, which we're more than grateful for. We've got Mr. Dalu Tebe.
How we doing, guys? You all right?
Good.
And we've got Paddy Newman.
Even.
Hello, Paddy. And we've got our special guest. I guess you better do the special guest intro, Dalu. This is a gentleman that you've got for us. So let's do that intro, shall we?
Yeah, brilliant. I'm pleased to say that we've got a close friend of mine, church brother by the name of Jay Fletcher. Is it Fletcher, isn't it? Fletchman, my apologies. So yeah, Jay Fletchman, or AKA Big J, as most people call him. This guy is one guy that even when my best friend was going through some issues, I wanted to actually, his nephew was involved in gangs and going the wrong way. And one of the people that I knew had a bit of experience in that world and had changed his life for the better. And I wanted to introduce them to kind of have that conversation about, right, this is the path you're taking. I did a lot worse in doing this. You know, this is actual what will happen to you. And I think Jay is an advocate for that. He's an advocate for life change as well. And he's just a general nice guy. And I think some of the stories I hear about him in the past, you wouldn't want to have met him, but he's just a lovely man to know now. He's a blessing to know now. He's got a beautiful family, beautiful wife and kids, settled in a good job in terms of what he's doing out there for the youth and the community. And I think it's just a positive guest to have on in terms of following last week when it was about self-awareness and reflection. We've got a guest on today that can actually answer the hard-hitting questions on terms of things like prison life, that roadman life. You know, if you've got someone doing some dodgy stuff in your family, maybe what the best way is to approach them and things like that. So, yeah, I'm really pleased to have you on, JJ. Big J.
Bless. It's good to be on, guys.
Welcome. Yeah. Can I ask a first question, Jay? And we said we'll talk about a few of our bits as well, but in relation to that, how are you coping with the isolation? You say you've got a few kids there. How old are your kids and how are you coping?
It's not been too bad, you know. I'm still working in it, so I get a little break. Yeah, I get a little break as well, so I've got a little bit of a balance. But I've got 3 children. The eldest is 13. Then my second eldest is 10. And then I've got the baby, the younger one, who's 3 years old. Yeah.
What sexes?
I've got a girl and 2 boys. The eldest is the girl, and then the second 2 are the boys. Yeah.
Wow. I was going to ask who your favourite is, but I'll let
No, I was going to say, does your 10-year-old get away with murder?
Yeah. The 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Do you know what it does when it comes to cleaning, innit? You know, yeah. When it comes to cleaning, yeah, I must say that he kind of gets a bit of a blight. You know what I'm saying? He just kind of, my daughter, she gets a bit more pressure in that, you know, when it comes to cleaning and but she's a bit more mature than him anyway. She's more mature. She's like an adult. So even like changing the younguns nappy and stuff like that. She's good at stuff like that. She can iron my clothes. Whereas my 10-year-old, you know, I'm a bit reluctant to let him iron, especially with good clothes. You know what I'm saying? I'm a bit reluctant because he might hold that iron on there too long. You know what I'm saying? Serious, but nah, he gets a bit of a leniency. Do you know what I'm saying? He does get a bit of a leniency, yeah. In certain areas.
I had that age gap, so I got away with murder as well.
Oh, what you had that age gap?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, he does. I'm on him, but in other areas though. Do you know what I'm saying? In other areas, the areas that I can see myself, see resemblance of myself when I was his age. You know what I'm saying? It's come back to haunt me, innit? It's come back to haunt me, man. I know my mom's probably like, yeah, you see, I told you, innit? Wait till you have your own kids. Wait till you have your own church. I'm saying the same thing to them now.
Now, Jay, one of the reasons we wanted to bring you on is obviously, you know, to talk about yourself, man, your experience and things. So I'm from down south. I'm an Essex boy myself. We've got Paddy in Liverpool, and I believe Andy in Warrington, and Righteous and yourself, Manchester bred. So what was that era of Manchester like growing up, you know, and then what kind of led you to the path that you went down? And can you give us a bit of a story behind that?
Yeah, when I was growing up in Manchester, it was there was quite a lot of, because I was growing up in Manchester like in the 90s. There was quite a lot of gang activity with the elders, and you know, quite a lot of influence in it, you know, with the elders. And them times there was a lot of there's quite a few shootings even against younger people, and you know, robberies and all sorts of stuff was going on. And there was a lot of broken homes. So there was a lot of like single mothers bringing up young lads. You know what I'm saying? Around my community that I was at, there was a lot of young lads like myself that was being brought up by a single mother. You know what I'm saying? Which is it can be a bit of a struggle for the mums, because obviously mothers can't teach a young lad how to be a man in it, you know. So the youngers are going to go out there and explore and look up to peers. If they've not got a father role model around them, they're going to look up to the elders in the community and so forth to find their way of how to be a man. So, you know, you get influenced in the wrong ways, you know what I'm saying, of what you can see. And then also, like, you know, the movies, the films, you know, stuff like that, you know, what I used to watch, they used to teach me how to be a man as well. And then you're going to go out in the streets, and then you're going to go and put into practice what you can see as, you know, you believe that's making you be a man, you know. For me, around my area at the time, there was a lot of gang activity around the area. There was a lot of guys that were getting about in cars, and you know, jewelry, and you know, and to a young lad, them things look good. You know what I'm saying? Them things look interesting. You know, so growing up as a young'un, I desired to have them cars. I desired to wear my pants halfway down my bum. You know, you know what I'm saying? I decided to put my, you know, all of that. You know, I decided to put my pants halfway down my bottom when my mum weren't looking. You know what I'm saying? or when I were at home. You know what I'm saying? I decided to put on the black clothes, and you know, all these stuff. You know, even down to watching how a guy would even chat up a girl. You know, how the oldest would chat up a girl. Like, you might see them on the street and they might be shouting over the girl in front of everybody, like, yo, yeah, like, you know, stuff, you know, like that. Like, yo, what are you saying? Or what are you saying? So all of these things were influential to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying to you? And I was learning from these things. I'm not gonna lie, I was learning. So we had the wrong, it was the wrong influences, you know. I had the wrong influences around me at a time that was crucial for me developing, and growing into a younger, a young man. Do you know what I'm saying? So I started to learn from these people. I started to learn from these influences, you know, and because I didn't have a male role model in my household around me, that was, you know, that I could learn from. My mum, I couldn't go to her with certain things. So, you know, I'd go back in the streets. You know, I might go chat to my friends about certain things. I might go ask questions and find out, get my answers from them or get my answers from elders in the community. But what you got to understand, half of these elders that are in the community, if you're not their family or you're not, you know, any relation to them, they've not got that level of respect like that for you. You know, they could use you. They could think, or opportunity, you know, get this guy selling drugs or get this guy holding stuff for us, or you know things like that. You know, whereas if it's your uncle. If it's your uncle, even if your uncle is a bit of a somebody, if it's your uncle's not going to influence you to do the wrong things. Do you know what I'm saying? Even still, even if he's that kind of guy to do that, he might not influence you to do the wrong thing for what his sister would have to say about it if she found out. So there'll be some form of respect level there if it was a family member. When it's not your family, you've not really got that. You've not really got that care there like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a case of, well, this is a young kid here, you know, that I could use in a certain way. Do you know what I'm saying? Or this young kid could be influenced in a certain way and I can get something out of this. So there was a lot of influence in the community that led me to be influenced in the wrong way. And that's what kind of pushed me in the wrong direction as well.
Okay. Nice one. Thank you, Jay. I think Righteous, you had a question?
Yeah, I'm terrible with names. What's your name again there, brother?
Jay. Big J or J. Yeah.
Big J or J? Can I call you Jay for short? Is that cool?
Yeah, call me Jay, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, just going back to what you said before about the role models and whatnot, but you also mentioned about people possibly trying to use you as well.
Yeah.
I understand exactly what you mean there because I didn't have any like male role models at all, not in the house, not outside the house. Really, I didn't really have anyone tangible.
Yeah.
So I was always looking for that. I suppose this is a two-part question, really. One, how did you determine who the right guy was? First, we'll start with that first. How did you determine who you were going to look up to? I mean, was there a criteria? I know it's a bit of a broad question and you were young at the time, but was there a criteria? Was it like the coolest guy or the guy who was getting all the bits or, you know, what was it?
For me, what used to attract me to the guys that I would draw close to when I was a younger, because it changed as I started to get older. But when I was a younger, and not really having too much knowledge on certain things and understanding of certain things, for me, what used to attract me was the guy that looked like the man. So whether it be the guy that looked, whether he had an aura to him, you know, the way he dressed, you know, if he had the best gowns on, or if he had a chain, you know, his personality kind of as well. You know what I'm saying? If he could draw girls, you know, all that stuff I used to look for, you know, in a person, and look at a person as, that's the man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's the man, he's the one. If he had nice cars, you know, stuff like that. That's what used to attract me at a young age, you know, to make me look at a guy as, he is that kind of guy. You know, whether or not that was the case, if they could put on that front, you know, to a young guy, to a young youth at the age, you know, then it would make a strong impact.
I was just going to say, it's really odd how we see those role models. You know, everything you've described there if you close your eyes and you just didn't know that it was someone on road doing naughty things, you'd probably think it's James Bond. Do you know what I mean? Someone who looks the part, dresses the part, gets the girls, drives a car, you know, lives that lifestyle. So I think I like Righteous's question there in terms of, you know, what was you seeking there? And I think you had another question there as well. So Righteous.
Yeah. The flip side of that is, like, if you're looking for that leadership, if you're looking for someone to lead you at some point, that can leave you vulnerable as well. Did you have that conflict as a kid where you just wouldn't follow certain guys for fear of being like used or anything like that? Like, did you ever? Were you ever in a situation where you felt like you weren't getting what you needed from them in terms of offering yourself as a mentee?
Yeah. To be fair, for me personally, as a younger, I was kind of on it, and I was kind of on it anyway. In a sense, you know, I was a leader. I was a leader in my own self. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say
I was a leader, bro, because I was a fighter. Like, I could fight in it. So, and I was cheeky. I was a cheeky kid. Yeah, I was one of them that would fight adults. I'd fight elders. I was the kind of person that would feel like I could have it with an older guy. You know what I'm saying? I genuinely really believed that I could have it with an older guy. So I would act like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'd act like a leader in that sense. But it was just more, for me, it was more the case of learning, you know, learning from these people, you know, learning from these people as role models, as what I could develop myself, you know, a bit more in, you know what I'm saying? What I could develop my characteristics a bit more in kind of you know, with whether it be with understanding or just kind of learning from them, you know, I was always a person that always would do what I wanted to do anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? I was that kind of person. I'd do what I wanted to do anyway. And I weren't stupid. My mum brought me up pretty clever to always kind of watch out for people. You know, she always brought me up kind of to watch out for people. But at the same time, I was just more looking to peers as somebody that I could help mold my character a bit more. You know, help my character bloom and blossom a bit more. You know, in certain areas.
Brilliant. Andy, I think I had a question, and then we'll cut to Paddy's question.
No, it's Paddy.
Oh, sorry, Paddy. Yep.
Yeah, I found that really interesting because I was thinking, in my head, when you were saying about going and learning from people and everything, in my mind, I'm thinking, so what was it what was the direction you were going? What was it that you actually wanted to achieve? So you're getting all this information, these questions. Did you have a focus of where it was you were going?
For me personally, I can't say I knew where I was going. I knew where I wanted to go. I knew what I wanted to do. And for me, I just wanted to be successful, you know, financially. First and foremost, it was financially. I wanted nice cars. I wanted, you know, jewelry. I wanted to be able to go on holidays and have the best clothes. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to be that guy in it. I wanted to be that guy, you know. So for me personally, I didn't actually know where I was actually going. You know, I was kind of doing it as I go along, you know, step by step. It was like I was just journeying as I go along and just taking it day by day, month by month, week by week. But at the same time, I knew what I wanted. And what I wanted was to be that guy, you know, to be that guy, what I perceived as being that guy, you know, and that's the guy with the best clothes, the guy with the cars, the guy with the jewelry, the guy that could get all the girls, you know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff there, you know, the guy that could, that would be liked by people, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody wants to be liked by people in it. Everybody wants to be that guy where everybody wants to be around that guy, or, you know what I'm saying? So it's more about that for me, you know, personally. So it's kind of just I was more looking at them kind of things, to be fair.
Well, the other thing I've got to say, first one, if you wanted to be that guy, I wouldn't have stuck by you because you were getting the girls and I couldn't. So I'd have gone the other direction.
bro, you would have listened. Don't worry, I would have shared with you. Bro, I was a sharing kind of guy, bro. I never used to. One thing I never used to try to do was get myself attached. I didn't want to get myself attached to girls. You know what I'm saying? The reason why is because I didn't want to get myself attached. Yeah, for me to then detach myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because obviously that's another problem in itself. You know what I'm saying? So I was the kind of person, bro, that listen. You know, if it's not my girl, like my girl, yeah, it's yours too, innit?
Very liberal.
So them times, yeah, you listened, you would have been all right. I'm telling you.
So Jay, one of the things that we like to do is obviously we keep it light, and every so often we will get deep in our little conversations and stuff. But have you got any like stupidly embarrassing stories, man, when you probably stuck someone up or sold them like talcum powder or just, do you know what I mean? Just any one of them things where you just like, you still laugh at now, even though you're a changed man, where you think, I can't believe I got away with that.
You know what? Yeah, I've got some what would I say was a silly thing now? Yeah, was possibly there was a time when when I got arrested. Bro, and this I was young, and I got arrested. I was driving a car, and the car was a stolen car, and I got arrested, and I had some. It was snowing. It was actually snowing, you know, and the police started chasing me and my other friends in the car. And, you know, we got off in this car. Now, I crashed the car, innit? I crashed the car I crashed the car into the back of a taxi, yeah? Crashed the car into the back of a taxi. And we was all scarpering, you know, to get away. Everyone was scarpering to get away. And I ended up, I had drugs on me. I actually had drugs on me in the car. And it was stupid. This was a stupid thing. And I ended up getting caught. I ran away, but I ended up getting caught with the drugs. You know, I ended up getting caught with the drugs on me, yeah. And because I was more, my mind was more thinking about getting away and not even thinking about what I had on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting away, and I got away, you know. I got away, I kept the drugs on me. Yeah, I got away, kept the drugs on me, hiding, and then they brought the chopper out, they brought the helicopter out and everything, and the dogs out, and I got caught. With the drugs on me though. You know what I'm saying? When I could have threw them, I could have dashed them, I could have stashed them. You know what I'm saying? But I kept the things on me like an idiot, yeah, and got caught with the things. And I was like, when I got arrested now, but I was really young though, so when it went to court and all that, and it was Class A drugs. It was actually hard Class A drugs. But because I was so young, and because of the stupidity of it, yeah, in the court, they let me off. They said, you know what, yeah, because they just knew this guy was just young and dumb in it. He's just young and stupid. Because yeah, I got caught with it, yeah. And I couldn't understand how I was hiding and managed to still get caught with the drugs on me though. Not next to me, not in the garden next to me, but on me. You know what I'm saying? When I thought about it, I was like, afterwards I was thinking, how stupid am I though to even get myself? But that's how young I was, really young though, young and just young and just silly. I didn't see the seriousness of it. You know, you didn't see the seriousness of the situation, but that actually, it was a serious thing because it took one of my lifelines. You know, in the courts, it took a serious lifeline because I got a serious warning from the judge, and he said, "You're listening. If you ever come before the judge with a Class A drug again, Said you'll be getting slammed. He said it straight, and he marked it down. He wrote it down. He said you'll be getting slammed because they let me off. Really and truly, you shouldn't be getting let. It was heroin that I got caught with.
Right.
Heroin and that. So really and truly, it was only a couple of raps, but it was raps in to sell. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So really and truly, you shouldn't be getting off with them things. Do you know what I'm saying? And being in a stolen car as well, and crashing a stolen car into a taxi. So all them things.
Oh, Jay, thank you for sharing that, my man.
I was trying to get away from the police. I was trying to get away from the police that much. Yeah. I ended up crashing into the taxi.
Andy, did you have a question there, my friend?
Yeah. First, an apologies, but my only kind of insight into any kind of world that might be anything like this would be TV, and it would be The Wire. But I don't know if that's something that you've seen.
Andy, this guy would have been Marlowe in The Wire. Like
that's where I'm going, Danny. That is where I'm going.
Like stories he's told me where he's been like, bro, do you know what? Yeah, all I wanted to do was succeed on the streets. Yeah, so I was that guy that would have been out there not till 11 and 12, but I'm talking 1 till 2 and 3. I will outwork you in the gym. I will outwork you on the street. Do you know what I mean? When I heard that, and I'm thinking, do you know what? Yeah, okay, this is the guy that they make Top Boy about. Do you know what I mean? Because we all hear about these little kids on the street, and we see them riding their mopeds, and we know someone who's probably hanging about with them in our little families or little communities, but this is someone who's actually lived and breathed it for a short period of his life and actually managed to change. And I think that's a key point today. Like we'll come to that, but go on. What were you going to say, Andy, about Marlowe over here?
Just to give you a little bit more context, my youngest boy, I've got 4 boys, Jay, and my youngest is Marlowe. So he's a little bit kind of named after Marlowe Stansfield in a way, a little bit. But I wanted to know within that there, so there are different levels of things, isn't there? It's almost like a corporation from what I've seen in TV show. But what kind of level then? How dark did it kind of get? Like what kind of level within that? You say you were running heroin or whatever, or did you have guys working for you and stuff? Like how high did you get on that ladder?
When I was younger? When I was actually younger, or in general?
Any of it.
I got very successful. I got very, very successful. Up until 3 years ago, I got very successful, bro, in every area. Financially, I got there. Do you know what I'm saying? Financially, I got there. Cars, I've had loads of cars, bro. Evos, everything. I've had loads of cars, motorbikes, jewelry. I've had numerous of jewelry, custom-made jewelry. Do you know what I'm saying? Everything. Holidays. I've had numerous of holidays. Took my kids have been on holidays from the age of 4 months up until now. Do you know what I'm saying? Numerous of holidays. My wife, my missus at the time, but who's now my wife, she's had everything. Financially, I got there. Do you know what I'm saying? I used to do everything. I was a versatile. I call myself. I was a versatile criminal. Yeah. So I wasn't one to just have my hands in one pot. You know, I'd have my hands in every pot that I could make money. So if that was doing a race, sticking someone up, yeah, I was a man. That to be fair, that was a game that I used to love from when I was younger, because that's what I got in from young. So that one there was more my survival mode. Yeah. That was like a booster. You know what I'm saying? but then. Yeah, that's it, bro. That was like a
payday loan. The old form of Wonga, mate. I love it.
That is true. That one there was like a booster, man. I could go and squander that money. Do you know what I'm saying? I'd go buy something. But what it was when I come out of prison the last time. I turned into because when I was younger, I couldn't hustle. I wasn't a hustler. I'd try, but I would never be successful. So I'd always go back to robbing. because I wouldn't be successful in hustling. It weren't working for me. Do you know what I'm saying? As you could see before, yeah, when I told you I got caught with the drugs in the car, yeah, it weren't working for me. Do you know what I'm saying? But when I come out of prison the last time, my hustle game, that just hit the roof. That just hit the roof. And then that was my main income. That was my main graft. You know what I'm saying? And then I'd do other things on top of that to get the extra, because I felt like that hustling game, I was working for that. Do you know what I'm saying? I was working for that. So I felt like, you know what? I'm gonna protect that. I'm gonna cherish that. I'm gonna nurture that. I'm gonna because I'm putting in the graft for it. I'm not gonna lie. There was times when, you know, I'd be right all around the clock. I'd be all around the clock. My wife would tell you I never used to come home till like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Then I go sleep for a bit, and I'm up again, out again. Do you know what I'm saying? So that was like my main hustle. But then other things, I do other things. Yeah, I had many other guys that would shout me to do other stuff, and then that would be like extra money. Do you know what I'm saying? And I was one of them that I could have money, yeah, because I was a person that was stacked though. So I was the kind of person that could have 20 grand, 30 grand, whatever stacked in the bank, and I go on like I haven't got it. Do you know what I'm saying? So whatever I had around me, yeah. So if I had like say £1,000, £2,000 around me, I call that my kitty dough. So that was like my flipping money. That was the money that I flipped. Yeah. But the money that I've got stacked in the bank, I've not got that. So if that £2,000 that I had around me would go down to like £1,000, yeah, I'm like, nah, I need to get some more money in it. Do you know what I'm saying? I need to get some more money. So one way or another, I'm gonna go get some, whether it do a raise, whether it sticks someone up or something. I'd look to go and get it, because I've took my mind off that money that's stacked up. I took my mind off that. I've not got that. Do you know what I'm saying? So I always had to. I actually programmed myself to always maintain what it was that I had around me, and forget about what it was that was put aside.
Nice one, Jay. One thing you mentioned there is first time you went to prison, second time you went to prison. What was that like? As I mentioned before, we're going to ask some hard-hitting question. What was that like, that first time with your mum and your family, experiencing that for you, seeing that for you?
The first time I went, for me personally, it was an experience. It was an experience, to be fair. I wasn't in there long enough as well at that time for me to feel the burn or the crunch of it. So it was just like a bit of an experience, something to talk about when I get out, something to make my name sound a bit bigger and, you know, a bit more of a boost and an ego. Yeah, I've been prisoned, you know, that kind of thing. You get me? But for my mum, because my mum was a Christian, she was always a Christian. For her, she was wounded. She would have probably been feared, and, you know, all sorts of emotions going through my mum. Do you know what I'm saying? But for me personally, it was an experience. And what happened as well, when I got the first time I went to prison, I was with my Cody. I was actually with my Cody. So I was with the guy that I was on the roads going on like a madman with. So it's like, yeah, man, I got your back, you got mine in it. And he had been prison loads of times before me. He was a bit of an elder to me, but he had been prison loads of times, and he was a serious guy. You know, he was a guy that could hold his own, and he was well known for it. You know what I'm saying? So I was with him as well. So I was cool. I was calm. You know what I'm saying? I was calm, and he knew the ropes of prison. So when I've gone in there with him, he kind of just showed me the ropes anyway.
What do you think that would have been like without him? Say, like, some of these guys that are just out there doing things that just might be shotting a little. There might be a roadman, you know, shotting for someone else, or just doing little bits and bobs, and they have that first experience of prison. What did you see from them innocent faces that come in and they're just shocked by the whole thing? Did you see like a difference in someone who hadn't got a bigger elder to show them the ropes? What was that?
It can be it's a struggle for them guys. It's a struggle because people will jump on that vulnerability as well, innit? People will jump on that vulnerability and can make it a hard time for you in there. You know what I'm saying? Some people will jump on it. You know, you can be a victim, you know, you can be a victim. And you know, if you can't back your stuff, you're not a fighter, then you're gonna really struggle in prison. Do you know what I'm saying? Even them guys that are gunmen and road, yeah, if they can't fight, then you're sad in prison, innit? You know what I'm saying? I've seen many guys that were big rowdy guys on the streets that had a reputation and everything be like little mice in prison, you know, because they can't fight. You know what I'm saying? So you get some guys that are on the streets and known as not known as anything, that will be putting it on the guys that are loony boons out on the streets, and the guys that are the loony boons will be scared. You know what I'm saying? Or they're shook because they can't back it. You know. But for me personally as well, prison is it's a mental thing as well. It's a mental thing because you got to understand, when you go to prison, you start to withdraw. You start to have withdrawals. You know, for freedom. You know, for girls, whatever it is that you're into on the streets. When it gets taken away from you, you start to withdraw from it. You know, and that's a time as well where your mind can play games on you. You know, anxiety and all that stuff. Or you could, I've had a lot of friends where the mums have died while they've been in prison, and you know, the families have died while they've been in prison. The brothers have died while they've been in prison. You know, and if them thoughts start passing through your head of, oh, what if this happens? You know, what if that happens? Or you might even hear that something's happened to one of your cousins. You know, your cousin got jumped or something. You know what I'm saying? These things can install anxiety inside of you. Yeah. And then you've got to know what to do with that, or how to deal with that, and how to cope with it. You know, along with the withdrawals from, if you smoke weed, you know, the withdrawals from smoking weed and the withdrawals from freedom and sex, everything. You know what I'm saying? All these things can make you, if you don't know how to manage it, it can make you go under. You know what I'm saying?
Bit like COVID.
Yeah.
No,
it's true.
Isolation, no sex, no. or marriage.
I'm telling you, bro, marriage can do that to some people, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? I'm telling you, bro, you gotta be strong. You gotta be strong for marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to be mentally. You know, I thank God I'm following God in a marriage, you know what I'm saying, bro, because it can work, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not doing it in my own strength. But if it was before, oof, you know what I'm saying? That's why I didn't get married before.
I say, man, you ain't selling marriage to me at all, man. For
Say
real.
again, bro.
You ain't selling marriage to me right now. You're really not.
No, listen, brother.
You're telling me I gotta get in with God, so I've got the strength to live with this chick.
You know what, bro? Marriage is a blessing, bro. It's a blessing, yeah. But it's challenging, isn't it? It's gonna challenge you to be a man, yeah. You know, and for me personally, the reason why it's so challenging for me, because at the end of the day, I learned how to be a man from the streets, bro. So I learned the total wrong perspective of how to be a man. So just imagine my perspective of how to be a man having to change that, bro. It's like I'm dying.
That's what I was going to ask you. How do you feel about working a normal job now? Do you know what I mean? Because what do you do now, JJ? You're working with the kids, youth and stuff, troubled kids and stuff, yeah?
Yeah. I work with the youth in semi-independent units. So they've come from the care sector. Some of them have been in care from the age of 3, and then they come over to the transition to the semi-independent units from the age of 16 to 18, and then they go out into the world. So it's challenging because, like you're saying, you know, learnt behavior, you know, from the care sector from the age of 3 to up and to whatever age they go in. Sometimes it could be 2 months of age they go in care. You know what I'm saying? But from the care sector, you know, they've got a lot of learnt behavior in it. You know, so they come with a lot of bad habits. They come with these little strops and all sorts of stuff. And then we've got to kind of deal with that and get them independent so that they can go out into the community, you know, go out into the community and be living independently. But I love it. I love the job. The reason why I love it is because I know how to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? I know what used to work for me and I know what didn't work for me. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, I've not got the background that they had, in the sense of, you know, my mum being a heroin addict or a drunk or anything like that. But I've got the experience, yeah, in the streets and stuff like that, in where it is that they will be veering towards, you know what I'm saying? So I'm more there as a mentor to help them, you know, and show them that, look, I've had things happen in my life that wasn't necessarily good, but look, I've managed to turn it around myself now as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's encouragement in it. It's encouraging for them. And also a guy that's not going to judge them, a guy that's not going to look down on them, a guy that's going to listen to them, and a guy that's going to try his best to give them what it is that they need. You know what I'm saying? Because I can remember there were certain people that I'd listen to and there's certain people that I wouldn't listen to. And the reason why is because a lot of the time it's the people's approach. You know what I'm saying? It's how people approach me. You know, people could approach me with that teacher mentality. You just shouldn't do this and you just shouldn't, without no understanding of, you know, not trying to grasp and understand where I'm at or what's going on with me. You know what I'm saying? So where I get them people that would listen to me, yeah, and they would understand where I'm at and give me the right advice and counsel with you know, and I could feel them person, you know, that person, and you know, but you know, so it's all about just helping them, you know, encouraging them, helping them get to where it is that they need to, you know, get to, giving them the right counsel and the right advice and showing them that, look, as much as your life is actually, you know, you're not had the best life, it doesn't determine your future. You know what I'm saying?
Brilliant. Righteous, did you have a question?
Yeah, you work with kids now. Is there a kid where, because obviously you've lived quite the life, but obviously you also, on top of that, you see these kids possibly, you know, transitioning into that life, and obviously you got to try and pull them back. Is there ever a point where you get frustrated with them, where you can see the signs because you had those signs thrown at you in your life, and you've just found it really difficult and frustrating to pull them back? I mean, how do you handle that challenge?
Yeah,
if you've had that challenge yet.
Do you know what? Yeah, that's a good question, that bro, because I see you do get that a lot. You know, because you can see it in it, you can see what's going down. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it can be frustrating because you've got the answer. You know what I'm saying, bro? And you might give them the answer, you know, but they just might not be hearing it at that point in time. So you're just like, yo, bro, that's like, because you can see what road they're heading down. But for me personally, I've managed to develop patience, bro. Now, yeah, I've managed to develop patience, you know, within myself. And before I got into this job, before I actually got into this job, I actually I went through a lot in my previous job, in my first ever job, because the job that I had before this, it was my first ever job ever working, bro. Ever though, only 3 years ago. You know, I never actually had worked.
First ever 9 to 5.
Yeah, like
standard.
On the books. The books, I've had my own businesses and things like that, but I never worked in the, what would you call it, in like on the payroll, you know, that kind of. Never ever worked on a job up until the age of, what you're talking, 33. Yeah, the age of 33, bro. So I've always made my money. I was making money on the streets, you know, all them years. So I had a good run. So for me, I had to learn a lot of stuff. I had to learn patience, bro. Yeah, in that thing. But it prepared me for this workplace. It actually prepared me for that, because now when I'm at work, you know, I've got the mindset of just planting the seed into them, giving them what it is that they need to think, and then believing that seed has been planted and it will grow at some point. I might not even get the chance to see them change their life around, bro, but it's all about what I do in the time that I'm with them. You know what I'm saying? What I do with them and what I think, because I can remember some things that people said to me many years ago, and it never left me. You know what I'm saying? It never left me. And some of them things that they said, them words of wisdom, I apply it now. Do you get what I'm saying? Or I recognize it, or I look back at the person and think, you know what? I remember when that person was speaking to me in this kind of way, and I understand it now. Do you know what I'm saying? So sometimes it can take a very long time, bro, for us to grasp and understand. But the fact that you planted the seed, yeah, it will grow at one point. You know what I'm saying? And they will grasp it at one point. So it's all about you just being patient and being content with just giving them what they need to hear, you know, and trusting that one day they will grasp it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. Paddy, we'll shoot to you, sir.
It's I'm just going back to thinking as you as the professional person. You've been a business owner, and now all of a sudden you're in a job where you're doing a 9 to 5, and you've got someone that's managing you.
Yeah.
How was that? How was that change?
Oh, that was difficult. That was I'm not gonna lie, because I was the kind of person that I used to say I would never work for anybody. That's what used to come out of my mouth. I used to say I'd never work for anybody, and obviously I was a person that, you know, I was very prideful. Yeah, I was very prideful. I wouldn't work for £10 an hour or whatever like that. No way, mate. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even go. I got to the point where I wouldn't even sell a £10 draw as £10.
I don't like you now. No, you motherfucker. You won't even sell a £10.
I swear that's the level I got to. I was like, if it's not,
you know.
I'd be like, if it's not eight, don't call my phone. If it's not a £20 weed, don't call my phone.
I've fallen out with motherfuckers like you in the past, man. Oh Lord.
So for me, it was very humbling, because, you know, it was very, very humbling because I'm working for minimum wage. At that time, I was working for minimum wage. It's like, you know, I'm working for minimum wage an hour. Like,
I feel the shock for you.
Minimum wage, you know. I was like, what? Like an hour? You know what I'm saying? But it's humbled me. It's humbled me to be more appreciative as well. I'm appreciative of £8. I'm appreciative of £2. I'm appreciative of 50p. You know, if I see 10p on the floor, I pick that up. You know, whereas once ago, if I see 10p on the floor, I kick that, put that on the grid or something. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm very appreciative, and I love it because it's humbled me. Do you know what I'm saying? It's humbled me. So, you know, it was difficult. It was very, very difficult because I'd have somebody there telling me what to do, and sometimes they won't tell you in a nice way. Yeah. So they'll be telling me what to do for minimum wage an hour. I'd be like, what? Like, nah.
And I could just imagine Jay's eyebrows going, because he's got eyebrows that can talk, right?
Bro, I went through changes. I went through changes, man. My old boss could tell you there was times, bro, where, you know, I was fighting some demons, bro, because I can remember there was times, where, you know, I would get a bit violated and I'd fight the demons, because the demons would be like, you know, you've got dough. Like, you've got dough. Like, I could do this and I could do that. Do you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, these are the demons that used to come through. I could have never worked in the care in the semi-independent units with this mindset that I had to change from.
Yeah,
it couldn't happen, because in the semi-independent units, you're coming across a lot of a challenging behavior. Sometimes you're gonna get the youth speak to you in a certain way. So if you can't handle a bit of friction to the point where you can overcome it and just forget it, forgive and forget, then you definitely wouldn't be able to be in a semi-independent unit, because you might get a child. I've had a glass smashed off my ankle where they threw it, and it worked at me. It worked directed at me. They threw it at another YP, and what's happened is they threw it at the head, so it could have smacked me in my head, the glass, and smashed. But thank God it smashed my ankle. Now, if I was a person that was an angry person that, you know, that felt prideful and thought, nah, you violated me, and nah, I've got to prove to a point to you now, I would have leveled that child. You know what I'm saying?
Dead straight as well.
You know what I'm saying? I would have kicked that child's head in, and then I would have got sacked. You know what I'm saying to her? And then I would have got it on my record. So I had to go through a process. Of being humbled within my character, and recognizing the things that were inside of me that was wrong, that needed to go. You know what I'm saying? So I could be moved forward into my future. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Where's that moment, Jay? Where I get this feeling, and I might be totally wrong, and I sound like a dick already saying it, but did someone hold up a mirror to you then? So it feels like somebody or something's changed your life. What's the process of that then?
Do you know what it was? Yeah, I was a person that chased a lot of money, and I got successful in everything, in the sense of, you know, accumulating what you could accumulate. And to be fair, it stopped working. You know, the money stopped working, the Rolex watch stopped working, the jewelry stopped working, the cars stopped working, the sex stopped working, the sleeping with other girls stopped working. Everything that I was chasing after, for me to feel successful and feel complete, it all stopped working. The holidays, you know, everything just kind of fell apart within inside of myself. And what it was is, I actually felt depressed, you know, because these things, what I come to find is these things were a mask. It was all a mask. It was all like it was all a mask. It was all a false sense of security, false sense of happiness, false sense of joy. You know, and they don't last forever. You know what I'm saying? It will not last forever. So I got to the end of myself, and I couldn't understand it, because I had money, I had cars, but then I felt depressed, and I was like, whoa, how come I feel like this though? You know, I got paranoid because I used to smoke a lot of weed. I used to smoke loads of weed. I was paranoid, even about my children, you know, about my missus, my missus, who's now my wife, because we've been together for 14 years. Me and my partner, she's now my wife. We've been married since July. It'll be 2 years in July, but we've been together for 14 years. So, you know, I got paranoid about my children. I got paranoid about my missus, yeah, because of my own self cheating on her. You know, I got paranoid that she was doing stuff, but it was all the stuff that I was doing. Do you know what I'm saying? So all these things, they caught up with me. The holidays, I go on holiday. You know, I go out with the lads and be getting drunk, buying tables and all that, and I didn't feel happy. You know, and then I'd have to drink more alcohol. I'd have to smoke more weed. I'd have to probably pop a little bit of magic or something, you know, a bit of MDMA, do you know what I'm saying, or something like that. But I wasn't feeling happy. Do you know what I'm saying? I wasn't feeling happy. So it was dangerous, bro, because I felt like I wasn't bothered if I lived or died at that point. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I could grasp, that's when I grasped. Like, I remember when people used to say, when they say them stories of, a millionaire killed himself in a mansion house with a Ferrari and a Bugatti on the drive and a Lamborghini, and I used to be like, what, are they mad? I'd be driving it. I'd go getting them cars and be flicking about in the cars, and, you know, I'd be getting the jacuzzi or getting the swimming pool. And don't get wrong, I wasn't a millionaire. I wasn't a millionaire, but I was comfortable. I was comfortable. And that's when I got to realize why them people do kill themselves. And that's because they've got everything materially, but they're not happy inside. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been chasing the wrong things. They've been chasing the things, the material things, and not dealing with the inner demons, their inner insecurities, their inner fears, their inner worries, their inner pains. You know what I'm saying? Because in this life and in this world, we all have insecurities. We all have fears, we all have worries, we all have pains. But for males, we tend to hide it in it. We tend to put on this front because, you know, it's not masculine, you know, it's not masculine to express it. Do you know what I'm saying? So all them years, I wasn't dealing with my fears, my insecurities, my worries, my paranoias. Instead, what I was doing, I was masking it with getting all these things to make me feel better. But then eventually the things stopped working, and then I'm left with my demons in it. I've got the things, but then I'm still left with the demons that I've not, you know, because the demons ain't left. So then I got to the point where I actually didn't feel, I felt like death would have been better. It was like torture. It was inside of my mind, my brain. I felt like death would have actually been better. I'm not gonna lie. And it wasn't good for me, but then it wasn't good for other people, because I was a liability for myself and other people. Because if I'm feeling like death would feel better, then that goes to show that I wouldn't care. I didn't really care if I died. If I didn't really care, obviously, don't get wrong, I couldn't kill myself. I couldn't drive myself to do that. but I could put myself in a situation where somebody else could do it to me. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to stand there and let somebody else do it to me. So I'm going to, do you get where I'm coming from? So I'm a liability to them and myself. Because if they do try to kill me, I'm going to try and kill them, yeah? Or I'm going to do something to them. But then I'm also going full throttle because I'm not really bothered about my own life anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do them properly. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was a dangerous place to be. And then, and I recognized it within myself. I started trying to, I started searching little areas because I recognized it. I started to search. I was getting angry. I remember I was very angry because what it was, I wanted to stop smoking weed, and I stopped smoking weed in my own strength. And boy, I thought I was going mad. Nowhere to lie, I thought I was going mad. But I'm the kind of person, yeah, that I've got a strong willpower. I have strong will. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I stopped smoking the weed, and I didn't want to go back to it. I didn't want to go back to it because I'm like, no, I'm stopping. I can do it. But yeah, I actually thought I was going crazy. I was getting angry. I was getting angry nightmares. I had this was a big one for me. I started to have a conscience. That was a major one for me. I couldn't understand that. Do you know what I'm saying? So I thought I was really going nuts because I started to have a conscience. The things I used to do, I could do it and start to feel guilty from it. I'm like, nah, I don't recognize this guy though, because I've been smoking weed from the age of like 14. So I'm like, I don't recognize this guy. This is weird. So it's knowing. I didn't know how to deal with that neither. If you don't know how to deal with your conscience when you're doing things, that alone can send you crazy because you're going to go do the things that you normally used to doing, but then your conscience is pricking you, and then that's going to attack your mind. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So all these things for me was, it was, I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand it. So, I was a bit confused. I didn't know who I was. I actually didn't know who I was. You know what I'm saying? Because the guy that I've been chasing to be, it wasn't really me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really me. It was a bit of me, but it wasn't the me that I wanted to really be. You know what I'm saying? And be comfortable with, and be at peace with. You know what I'm saying?
I suppose if you've been smoking weed for so long, and don't forget as well, you've got older, you've changed. You changed psychologically without even realizing it, just subconsciously. But if you've been weeded up the whole time, you're not even going to be aware of that. So I suppose when you stop smoking weed now, it's like, no pun intended, but the smoke cleared, and then you're confronted with this new person that you have to get to know, and it's going to be scary as well, especially like with the conscience thing. If you need to not have a conscience to function, to do what you do, and then all of a sudden you're lumbered with the baggage of conscience, and that's got to be scary. But on top of that, I got to take my hat off to you for going through that, because I know that must have been scary as shit to just figure out that you've got a conscience when the last thing you need in your environment is a conscience. So hats off to you.
It was, bro, I'm not gonna lie, it was heavy, bro. It was so heavy. It was that heavy that I wanted my brain to just stop. You just want your brain you just want to stop. Like, it was too heavy in it because I couldn't understand it. I didn't understand it. And I remember I went to this course. I paid £500 for a course, I paid £500 for a course. I didn't even finish the course. I went to this course, but it was like it was talking about your frontal lobes and this and that, all this stuff, So I was searching for answers, but I went to this course, and when I went to this course, it's like I'm there, and I'm basically trying to get counseled in this course. They didn't know, but I'm asking questions, but trying to hide that these questions are not for me. Do you get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying, bro? But I'm asking questions to this guy, and then this guy couldn't even understand it. I've gone through the course, and he ended up getting off. I paid £500, I didn't even do the qualification or nothing. I weren't bothered. I felt like I got what I needed. Do you get what I'm saying to you? For that particular thing, and then I got off. So I was searching, bro. I was searching and searching, like trying to find out what's going on. But then it was difficult because I felt like I couldn't express it to anybody. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I couldn't share it because I felt like no one would understand. You get what I'm saying? So I felt like it's pointless me even going and speaking. The only person that I managed to speak to a little bit, yeah, and not even give them everything, yeah, was my mum. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, she was the only person that I could speak to. But my mum, she knew something was that she could see that there was something deep happening. Do you know what I'm saying? She could see that there was something deep happening within inside of me. Yeah. Because I'm not gonna lie, but I felt emotional, but felt like I can't express it. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, you feel emotional, but you feel like I felt like I was trapped in my own body. Like I can't even express how I'm feeling. And that's the worstest thing. That can be the thing that make people go to the grave. Do you know what I'm saying? Because people, it's not a nice feeling. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was difficult. And for a guy that's lived a lifestyle and portrayed this guy and this characteristic, you put more pressure on yourself even more in it, because you know you're known as this guy that's, you know, you used to putting on a front in it, bro. Because there's times where I'd not be all right, and I'm going out on the streets and I'm putting on a front. You know, I'm putting on a front like, yeah, everything's cool. You know, everything's sweet, everything's cool. Got my Rolex watch on, got my nice gowns on, got my car. You know, even to the point where even the cars that I had, bro, like I didn't enjoy even driving it. It got to that point. You know what I'm saying? So it was a serious low point, and then I reached out to one of my brethren that I managed to see. I opened up a gym. And I went on holiday with my missus and kids. And I was adding people, you know, for the gym. And as I was adding people for the gym, I seen one of my friends from school that I've not seen for years. And I was on holiday. And when I seen him, I seen him in the church praying for someone in it. And I'm like, yo, like, what's going on with you, bro? Like, messaging, what's happening? What you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna lie, when I seen him praying for some people in the church, I kind of had a little bit of a peace. I'm kind of glad that there's someone doing something kind of, you know, a bit. It's like something inside of me felt like that's where you need to be. You know what I'm saying? So as much as I weren't there, I felt glad that I seen somebody that looked like me, that you know what I'm saying, that knows me, that comes from a similar background as me, that sees somebody doing it. It gave me a peace inside. I didn't tell nobody, but inside I was like, I thought like, yeah, that looks all right. I'm glad he's doing it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it makes it easier for me to do it, because there's somebody doing it before me. Do you know what I'm saying? I won't be doing it on my own, but I carried on doing what I was doing, and I spoke to him, and then I got speaking to him, and I kind of opened up to him a little bit, and just expressed to him that how I was feeling, and he kind of gave me the insight to that. You listening, the things that you've been doing, you've kind of come to the end of the road with it. You know, he said the same thing happened to him. Is he come to the end of the road with the finances, the cars, the women, the drinking, the so forth. He said you come to the end of the road, it's not working no more. And then that's when and then he invited me to the church. And when he invited me to the church, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, when I went to the church, bro, I was actually going to the church, yeah, thinking like, yeah, let me see what girls I can see in there with it. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That was my mindset, innit? Like, yo, I might see some girls in there, you know what I'm saying? Or might, things were going a bit rough with me and my partner at the time. Yeah. So I'm like, well, I might even find a wife in there, you know what I'm saying? And that's a wife or something. But and when I went in there, like, it was beautiful because I was welcomed. I felt welcome. I felt accepted for who I was, even though I wasn't changed. Yeah, and I come in as this little foolish kind of looking guy, you know, probably screw face and all that because of the pain that was going on inside of me. You know what I'm saying? I felt accepted. Like, I felt like accepted, like people, you know, was accepting me as who I am. Do you know what I'm saying? So it opened the door for me to go a bit further. Do you know what I'm saying? It opened the door for me to go and check out a bit more what this thing's about. You know what I'm saying? And then I've just been journeying from there. And to be fair, I was on a charge sheet. I was going back to prison. I was actually going back to prison when I went to in the church. I was on a charge sheet for conspiracy. bang to rights. I was gonna be getting slammed. I mean, probably would have got about 8-9 years. You know what I'm saying? Bang to rights. So that was another stress on my head, as well as what I was going through. You know, the fact that I could be going to prison. I've got my missus. I've got my children. You know what I'm saying? All the anxiety trying to creep in. Then because you know how it is as well. You know, all that of having a family and then going to prison. It's not the best. That's the worst.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the worst, you know. So I had all that emotions going on. And I just, from since then, I took the step and things just started ironing out for me. I got off the charge sheet. Started to, check myself and evaluate my life, and started to release myself from certain things. And then things just I started to gain a peace. You know what I'm saying? I started to gain a peace from inside himself. I even give away all my money. I give away all my money and everything. And, I was giving away all my assets. I got rid of my Rolex watches and my cars. And I was just starting to release myself from these things. And as I was releasing myself from these things more and more and more, I had more peace. Because I'm in my house now. And I'm as straight can be. No police can't come and do nothing to me. Yeah, I'm as straight as ever. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm loving it, bro. I'm at peace, man. I can see police on the street, smile. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I have to make sure I'm doing is wearing my seatbelt.
It's a positive story. I just wish I had knew when you was giving your Rolexes away.
I was giving them into right places. I wasn't just giving them into people that would go and just squander it and keep it for themselves.
Yeah.
I was sowing it into places where people would need stuff, and you know what I'm saying, trying to help out, you know what I'm saying, and with people that would put it to good use, you know what I'm saying, and it blessed me. And then it also made me start to deal with myself, because I didn't have the distraction of the finances, the money, the cars, the this, the that. So then I started to deal with myself, and then since then I've managed to grow into the person that I am now. I'm a lot more confident. You know what I'm saying? I'm confident, and I'm secure in who I am. Do you know what I'm saying? I can express my feelings. If I wanted to cry now, I could cry. Do you know what I'm saying? To feel no way. You know what I'm saying? All these things, is how us as men we should be comfortable with being. You know, it doesn't make us weak. It doesn't. I say it to the youth in work and say, listen, if I wanted to cry now, I cry. I said, but it doesn't mean I'm weak. I said, I still put the boxing gloves on and punch you ready. You know? I said, if you thought I was weak, I get the boxing gloves on and punch you ready. You know what I'm saying?
Brilliant. Right, we're just about to wrap up. Did Andy and Righteous, did you have any questions?
All right. Well, mine wasn't really so much a question, just a statement. Just wanted to say thanks for sharing that with us. Because you do realise your success story, don't you? Yeah. Because just thinking about it now, everything that you said, just to sum it all up now, your whole life you're basically trying to figure out a way to live. You're trying to figure out a way to navigate your environment. Everything you've said basically comes down to that. Like when you were younger, you're looking for the coolest guy, the guy who got the most bits. You're looking for a way. You're looking to figure out how to navigate your environment. And then in prison, you had that guy, you're looking to him to navigate your environment. And then going on to the straight and narrow 9-to-5 thing. How do I navigate this environment? You've gone through various stages of not knowing how to navigate your environment, and you've somehow done it. And also on a personal level as well, the whole like when you said you didn't know how to express your feelings at first, you figured out your way through that. Your friend praying as well, when you said that you find your friend praying for someone, that sounded like that was the final piece of what you're looking for, because you said you were searching, and that was the final piece of what you're looking for in terms of navigating your environment. And the coolest thing about you right now is that you've now taken on the role of helping the youngers now to navigate their environment. So you've won, and now you're teaching the kids how to win. So just thanks for sharing that with us, man. I appreciate that.
It's a blessing, brother. It's a blessing. I'm glad it's blessed you as well, man. I'm glad it's blessed you, man. But
from my side,
go on, boss.
Sorry, Jay. No, from my side, absolutely superb. There's some bits there. What I do is I edit this and I'll pull out some bits at the start, bits that really ring true to what we talk about. And I'm just taking notes all over the place. Like everything you say, it's a fantastic story about it. It's just brilliant. I get this feeling now there's like a glow on your face and it feels like you like yourself. It feels like you're comfortable in your own skin, and it just comes across. It really comes across. I think I really like Righteous's analogy of the smoke clearing. There was a little nugget there that you said about there were some things that some people said to me at a younger age that you might have tried to ignore at the time, but they sat in there and they sat deep and they still came up.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Who were those role models? What did they say to you?
It's just like some people, like in my college, like I went into music college course, because I went to them like naughty college, them colleges like were set for like people that got kicked out of college and so forth. So I went to one of them colleges in Moss Side at the MSHAUD building, and I had like a music mentor teacher, and they used to encourage me. And before I went to prison the first time, they could see the path that I was going down, but they could see something inside of me, what the lights, when you draw to somebody, so they could see the good in me from that age, but they could just see that I was veering down the wrong path. And used to encourage me in little things like, say, Jay, like you're really good at what you do. Because I can produce music. I'm good at producing music and so forth. They said, you're really good at what you can do. You just need to focus and, kind of not follow people and, they used to encourage me in little things. And them things that they used to say to me, it actually come back to me even still to this day. You know what I'm saying? To them, with them words of encouragement, of what they used to say, like, Jay, you're a leader. You used to tell me you're a leader, you're not a follower. So don't be following these guys, what I'm saying? You're a leader within yourself. Like, they used to see things that I couldn't necessarily see. Do you know what I'm saying? I thought it, but I couldn't, like, see it how I can see it now. You know what I'm saying? So they seen things and things like that. It used to, I used to kind of, like, listen to them and think, oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, man, sweet, but I'm just doing my thing anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hear what you're saying, but I'm just doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hear what you're saying. It's nice to hear it, but I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna go do what I'm doing. So, but them words of encouragement and them, their seeds that got planted, that have never left me. You know what I'm saying? Never left me. And them seeds there are what I've developed into that though. I'm actually developed now into them seeds. You know what I'm saying? So I am a leader. I am confident. You know what I'm saying? So all them things that you used to say to me, I am good at what I do, and I can confidently say that I am good at what I can do. You know what I'm saying? So in my job, in my workplace with the youths, I can say that I am, and I say it to my managers, I am good when it comes to dealing with the youths and dealing with crisis and dealing with giving them counsel. I'm good. I'm very, very good. So it's recognizing who I am and what I've got, and understanding it and encouraging myself. So now I can encourage myself without me being boastful. It's not about me being boastful. It's just recognizing I'm not the best at paperwork. Yeah. So I say to them, listen, when it comes to paperwork, that's not my thing. But when it comes to dealing with crisis, dealing with people that are at rock bottom, dealing with people that are mentally not well, people that are going through psychopathic stuff, anything like that, put me there, and I can guarantee I can get through to that person. Do you know what I'm saying? So I can encourage myself because I've managed to find myself in it. I managed to find myself, find what it is that I've got to offer. Do you know what I'm saying? So I've bloomed. That them seeds have bloomed and blossomed, and I'm now walking in it.
Yeah. Sorry, there's a question from Paddy in a minute, but I just wanted to it take 2 minutes. But I've got 4 boys, like I mentioned, and some of them have struggled in different ways, and I've talked about that on the pod before. But I actually did an exercise because I'm going through the court system for 2 of my boys at the minute, and the early help team and the counsellor sent me kind of an exercise, a bit kind of what they sent, and I've put some bits together myself. But I had all 4 of my boys at the weekend, and one of them's too young anyway. But the 3 of them got together and we did it as a family, and we did post-it notes, all positive messages about each other. Yeah. So, this person says this about this person and that kind of stuff. And they were, some of them were a bit like, oh, I'm not really listening, or, it's nice, whatever, trying to ignore it. And a few of them were like, wow, they've said this about me. It's a really positive thing. And it's great it sounds like a long story, but it's great to hear that, because the lad who is very much my step-lad, who is very much like, oh, I'm not really bothered. No, it was all right. Well, some of the bits were quite nice, but no, I'm not really that bothered. I just get this feeling that it does hit home. Positive things. I know it's quite a fluffy exercise to do, but it's just a nice thing. We're going to create a picture of it on their wall for each kid, so they've got something that says, this is what people say about you, not just yourself as well. This is what people say about you. So just again, absolutely brilliant. You're a real asset to us and the community just coming on.
Do you know what it is? He don't know how to receive positivity. He doesn't know how to receive it. Yeah, because I was like that. Yeah, sometimes when you've got a negative thing inside you, or people have pulled you down, or whatever it could be, it's hard for you to receive positivity of people. Do you know what I'm saying? And to me, he wants it. He loves it. Yeah. But he just don't know how to. He don't know what to do with it. He don't know how to receive it. He don't know how to take it on board. You know what I'm saying? But he wants to. He loves it. Everybody loves positivity, innit? Everyone loves to hear something good about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Everyone loves to hear something good about yourself. But sometimes, it's a struggle for you to hear that, especially if you're not hearing it. If you're not used to hearing it. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're used to hearing a lot of, even in schools, the teachers, you're just a nuisance, and this, all them words that get spoken over you from since a child, they tear you down. You know what I'm saying? They actually could tear you down. So, you just got to keep speaking positivity to him, and then hey, get used to it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, get used to it.
There's just a final thing for me there, from a real honest place. You're inspiration. Honestly, it's really, really good to hear. So that's the final word from me. Great.
Bless, man. Bless. That's good, bro.
Lovely. Paddy, we'll leave you with the final question.
It's interesting because we should call this part 1, in my view. That's just my opinion. The other thing is that it's very rarely that you sit there, and we all have these questions that come in, and then so you think, well, I'll press the button now. But the questions that I'm going to ask you, as I'm listening, I'm going, he's going to answer the question before I ask it. He's going to answer the question before I ask it. And that's actually happened all the way through. What I was interested in was when you talked before about being a certain age and lacking them role models around you. My question is, looking at where you are now as a family man, are you the man that you believe, have you reached it? Are you working it? Are you the man that you wished that you had in your life at that time?
I'm not fully there yet. I'll be honest with you. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm not fully there yet. And I don't think I can't say I will ever get there. It's just gonna be an ongoing thing. Yeah. But not where I used to be. Yeah, I'm not where I used to be. I'm better. Because obviously there's still things that I'm still working on within myself. Because this is years, you're talking years worth of a lifestyle. So it's a process in it, and it's a journey. So there's still a lot of things that I'm finding out. It's exciting because it's like you're constantly finding out more. The pages are constantly being opened. It's a journey. So I'm not fully there, but I'm not where I used to be. I've progressed a lot. you know, and I just keep moving forward, and it also humbles me to know that I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect, and I never will be perfect. I'm always going to make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And that's what us as human beings, we need to always remember within ourselves. We need to speak that to ourselves, and just to comfort us to not put too much pressure on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because we can tend to put pressure. Me personally, I'm a perfectionist. You know, I'm a perfectionist. You know what I'm saying? So if I was to try and blag myself and say, "Oh, I'm perfect," when them imperfections show, man, I'm gonna be feeling really horrible. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm not perfect, you know, and I never will be perfect. But I'm growing, and I'm striving to get better and better and better and better and better as life goes on. But I know that I'm not gonna get it all at once, neither. You know, I've got to have patience with others, but patience with myself as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
it's the humility in that answer that's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The humbleness. It was just a brilliant answer. And thank you for tonight. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been a blessing to speak to you guys as well. It's been a blessing. It's been good, man.
Absolutely righteous. Did you have anything else you wanted to end with, or a question?
Again, it probably would have been more of a statement, but I forgot now.
No worries, no worries. Well, I'll sum it up. But Jay, aka Big J, we just want to thank you again for coming on Men Don't Talk today. I think from an audience perspective, you've reached out to a lot of women, men, families, communities that all have people either going through the start or the end of that particular journey that you've been through. And just having that little bit of knowledge, a little bit of wisdom, hopefully some nuggets and gems have reached out to some people today, and that's all we can ask for on the pod. But I think with Paddy, there's a few guests that would definitely been saying that would like you on for like a part 2 at some point. So I'm sure there's a chapter 2 at some stage in the future. But just a big thank you from all of us. Honestly,
thank you guys. It's
brilliant.
It's been a blessing.
Cheers, Jay. Thanks a lot.
Nice one. Thank you. See you later, guys.
See you later.
Take care, JJ.
See you later.
Bye-bye.